Welcome to my channel, students. Today in this session we are going to discuss about compound gates. In VLSI Unit 2, this topic comes under static CMOS. So we are going to discuss about compound gates. So compound gates they are actually nothing but a combination of basic logical gates with an finally an inverting output. So CMOS handles these compound gates efficiently, and it gives various functions like AND and OR in single stage, as well as the logical efforts can be estimated for AOI 21, AOI 22 and more complex gates. So you may think that what are these AOI 21? So AOI 21 is nothing but it is AND or invert logic. A means AND, O means OR, I means invert, 1 is nothing but that is 2 inputs and 1 input separately. Similarly, AOI 22 means AOI 2 AND inputs, 2 AND gates with the 2 inputs and 1 OR gate, finally invert. So a compound gate comprises of AND or invert. So it contains 1 or 2 or many AND gates and then OR function, finally an inversion. Okay, so with this we can implement many logical expressions. So that's why it is called compound gate. And you can have another combination which is called OAI. So where OAI logic means it is OR and invert logic. That means you will have so many OR gates and then an AND of these OR inputs, then an inversion. So that is called OAI logic. So here in this text we are going to discuss about AOI 21 logic. So we will discuss about the concept now. So AOI 2A concept and 22. So basically we know what in inverter. So an inverter which gets A input and it inverts it, finally it produces A bar, that is Y is A bar. And for an inverter we know the CMOS implementation. So an inverter is nothing but a combination of an NMOS and a PMOS. Always we know that the PMOS is pull up network and then the NMOS is pull down network. Pull down is the MOS device that is connected with the ground. Pull up is the device that is connected to VDD supply. Okay. And both the gates of the PMOS and NMOS connected together, and then drain source terminals connected, and from where you get the output Y. Okay, so this is a simple inverter CMOS logic, and then from this inverter we can calculate the logical effort. So we know the calculation of logical effort, it is nothing but the input capacitance of the gate circuit divided by the input capacitance of a CMOS inverter. So the denominator part is a constant one for any logical gate if you want to calculate the logical effort. So the denominator 3 so that is constant, because the 3 means, what does the 3 mean? Input capacitance of an inverter always, and the upper part, that means whatever the gate we are choosing for that gate, what is the input capacitance? Here the gate itself an inverter, so the input capacitance value is nothing but 2, wherever the size is mentioned. See, the size 2 is mentioned here the size 1 is mentioned. So based on that sizes you can calculate the input capacitance value. So for this NMOS and PMOS and standard N and PMOS, where NMOS is having 1 width, PMOS with 2 width. So the input capacitance is nothing but 2 of PMOS, 1 of NMOS. So the input capacitance is 3, and divided by, for an inverter's input capacitance, that means the same gate, so we put again 3. Okay. So 3 by 3 is answer for you. The logical effort would be 1 for an inverter. And parasitic delay how we will calculate? Parasitic delay is calculated by the diffusion capacitance. That means for an inverter circuit, what are the diffusion, output diffusion capacitance divided by C out divided by the standard input capacitance of an inverter 3. Okay, so for this inverter circuit, the output capacitance is, see here we have two sides of PMOS and one size NMOS. So the output capacitance is nothing but, here from PMOS we will get 1 2C and from NMOS we will get 1 1C. So totally 3C. Okay, so that means 3. So the diffusion capacitance is 3 divided by the inverter's capacitance 3. So the normalized parasitic delay would be 1 for the inverter circuit. So now we will see the next gate. This is an AOI 2-1 logic. So I said already, no, AOI means AND operation, then OR operation, then finally an inverter. So A dot B plus C the whole bar. Example for an AOI 2-1 logic. So AOI 2-1. So that means you have two inputs and one separate input again. So for an AND gate we used to draw two inputs A and B, and we have to OR with C. We have to OR it with C. So the C is a separate input, and with that we are ORing. We are that this given input given is given, and we are doing the OR operation. So A, B and C is ORed, and finally invert. So this logic is known as your AND or invert logic. So AND input, ORed, and finally an inversion. So that is an inversion means a bubble at the output. So this is the expression, gate expression for the given function y equal to a plus a dot b plus c the whole bar. Okay. Now we'll see how to represent this in CMOS form. How can we draw it in CMOS form? This is a logic diagram of this given function. A, B, C, AND gate and NOR gate combination. No. So this is a combinational, that is a compound gate circuit. So in this compound gate, how we can form it as a CMOS? So that we are going to discuss now. The CMOS circuit we already know. So this circuit is containing one AND gate and one NOR gate. Okay. So in general, how we will implement the logic diagram? See, whenever you find the AND operation, so actually we have to start drawing from the we have to start drawing from the NMOS part first, then later only we have to convert for PMOS. We have to draw the PMOS part. So for the given function, it is A dot B plus C. So A dot B, in the sense you are doing the AND operation of two inputs. Whenever two inputs are AND, you have to connect the MOS in series. So first I said that you have to take the MOSes for pull down network. You have to complete the diagram for pull down network. So since two NMOSes are in series, I connect the two inputs A, B in series. Okay. And then you see the circuit, the function A dot B. So we connected two inputs A, B for two NMOS in series. And this A dot B must be ORed with C. So OR operation means you have to use parallel connection of one NMOS with C input. So here in this diagram you can able to see that, you can able to notice it. So for A input we draw one NMOS. Okay. And then for B input we draw one NMOS. So this is our A and B circuit, A and B inputs. For each and every input you have to draw one NMOS. Okay. First we'll complete the NMOS, then we'll finish the PMOS diagram. Okay, so this is the structure. Then A dot B, this is added with C. So I said that OR, whenever you get OR function, it means logically parallel. So you have to parallel another input, that is C. So take an input C for an NMOS. So two NMOSes with A and B input and one NMOS with C input. So now the logic diagram for the pull down network is over. Now we have to draw the pull up network. So once you complete your pull down network, it is so easy to do the pull up network. Where in pull up network, what we are going to do is, we are just going to invert the functions. Like in pull down, you have drawn two NMOSes AB series. No, in pull up network, you have to draw the two NMOSes, two PMOS in parallel. That is the two inputs A, B. No, so the two A, B inputs must be drawn parallel. So take two PMOSes and connect them parallel. So here you could see in diagram, so this portion, SEMA. So A and B, two NMOSes connected parallelly. Then in pulled up network, the C was parallel to A and B. But now in pull up network, you have to connect the C in series to the pull up network. So you have to connect a PMOS with the C input in series to the pull up. So finally you could notice here the C is connected series to the pull up network, and then at the junction we take the wire for Y output. So this is the way we have to form the CMOS implementation of various complex gates. Whatever the function, you can convert it, and you can form the complex CMOS implementation in this way. So here the diagram is over now. Once you have completed this network, that is the CMOS implementation for the given network, it is giving you A dot B plus C the whole bar. Okay, and then okay, so now it is to define the sizes of these MOSes so that we can calculate the logical effort at these inputs. So now we are going to do that. So for defining the sizes, we must understand the resistance of the NMOS concept, NMOS as well as the PMOS. So you must understand this very well. For an NMOS, the resistance, the effective resistance is, for an NMOS, the effective resistance is taken like this. It is R by K. That means you have to define the size of NMOS by R by K times, where K defines the size of the NMOS. And then for PMOS, the size is 2R by K. So K is nothing but the size of the MOS. So for NMOS, so that is whatever the size we are choosing, that size value have to satisfy that the entire pull down network's resistance is R. You have to define the entire pull down network resistance R. Similarly, the entire pull up network's resistance must be R. So you have to define the size such a way. So when the two resistors are in series, so how can I define the size? So I can define the size as 2, that is K equal to 2. If K equal to 2, what will happen? R by 2 and R by 2. The two resistors, they will have R by 2 values. Totally, since they are connected in series, their entire value would be R. Because the next branches parallel to this one is C, a single NMOS. So for a single NMOS, the size you can define is K equal to 1. So the resistance value would be R. So when it is pull down network, either this branch or the C branch would be chosen at the worst case. So in total you will have the effective resistance R. And for the pull up network, the same thing happens, that is the size K equal to, if I choose the size K equal to 4, what will happen? When size K equal to 4, 2R by 4, that means R by 2. Here with the R by 2 you will have, and here R by 2 one resistor, and here R by 2 you will get. See, when the two resistors A and B are in parallel? No. That means this part is parallel. So the parallel part means worst case any one resistance is going to be connected at the worst case. Okay. So either R by 2 or this R by 2. So one R by 2 is from the parallel part and another R by 2 from the C. So totally this is satisfying the R resistance value. So this gives you the R resistance entirely from the pull up R. So in that way you have to define the sizes. So the K value you are defining, no, that is the size. So here for PMOS I am defining 4. So that size is mentioned in the PMOS values. And in NMOS, while defining the two series NMOS given with the 2 values and one series one parallel NMOS given with 1 size 1. Okay. So like this way we can define the sizes, and once the sizes were defined you can calculate the logical effort. The logical effort is nothing but as I said already, at the input, at each and every input we can calculate the logical effort. So GA is the logical effort at the A input. So at A input you have to see what is the input capacitance and what is the normalized inverter's input capacitance. So at GA the input capacitance is, so one is 4, correct? See here, from this PMOS you have 4 resistance from the pull up network. So A, wherever the terms A, no, you see the A terms. So here A with 4 ohms, 4 size, and here in pull down A with 2. Actually these two are connected, no. A, wherever I mentioned A, B, C, na, so they are, those terminals are connected together so that it can form a complementary function. One PMOS and one NMOS, one PMOS and one NMOS. Okay. So at A input you have how many capacitance? 4, 2. 4 plus 2, 6. Okay. Then divided by 3. 3 is nothing but inverter's input capacitance. So the logical effort at A input is 6 by 3. Similarly at the logical effort at B input is at B you have to calculate the capacitance 4 plus 2, 6. 4 plus 2, 6 divided by 3. And C input, at C input you can see 4. C, wherever C is there, no, C, here is one C and here is one C. So C, here 4, here with size 1. So 5 by 3. Similarly the parasitic delay. Parasitic delay calculation is very simple. You have to take only the output diffusion capacitance. So at the output, what are all the capacitance connected? You just calculate. So from the pull up, you have one 4 sized PMOS. From pull down, 1 sized NMOS. And from this NMOS, you have 2. So 4 plus 2 plus 1. So you will have how many? That is this 4 and this 2 and this 1. So it gives you what value? 4 plus 2 plus 1. It gives us 7. So the parasitic delay is 7 divided by inverter's capacitance is 3. 7 by 3. So like this way we can calculate the logical efforts at each and every input. We'll see another example in the next session. Thank you.